Mutahar, the Act Man, Asmongold, moist critical. What can I say? It's not always easy to grift the right opinion, to know which way the wind is blowing. And well, it's Mutahar's turn, yet again.
Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So it appears that the Sonichu medallion has claimed another soul. Only a few months after putting on this cursed trinket, Mutahar finds himself in some pretty serious
It's a relic at this point. It's a catalyst for destruction, honestly.
controversy involving this now privated video he uploaded yesterday titled Post Nux Clarity, which, regardless of your thoughts about the content of this video, you have to admit the title is a banger. Now, what was this?
I did not see the video, even though people have done re-uploads. It seemed extremely boring. But case of the point is, it seems like Mutahar, some magically how, even though he's an upstanding, swell guy that always does the right thing, he somehow seems to keep a company of very, very bad people by his own admission next to him. Now, I don't exactly know what this Nux deal is. Maybe it's actually nothing. I do not know. But he somehow manages to be friends with the worst people constantly by his own admissions.
This video about? Well, it was 40 minutes of Mutahar disavowing Nux Taku in every shape and form, saying that they are no longer friends and they no longer have a business relationship, and any bridge between the two has been completely burned down.
Wow.
Now, this tweet right here really kind of sums up the relevant context you need to know before we get into the video. Of course, there are some re-uploads that we're going to look at today. So this says, Nux goes extreme anti-Loli to cater to people like Mutahar. Rev exposes Nux for being a hypocrite. Nux says he's so big he could de-platform Rev. Mutahar makes a video damning and cutting ties with...
Well, that part didn't happen because I remember when Nux Taku was a very, very big thing and his videos were popping off. But then at one moment they just kind of stopped.
With Nux because he considers him a lolicon. Yeah, so that's pretty much how everything went. So about 2 years ago, Nux makes a bunch of tweets and some offhand remarks in videos disparaging people over the topic of Loli. Now, this is, of course, something that was very hypocritical. I made a video calling all of that out, saying, hey, you have dozens of videos with cropped lolicon in your thumbnail. You've also shown...
Those are the thumbnails that sell, honestly. I can't even fault the guy for that. Thumbnails sell, boys. What can I honestly say?
This sort of content to other content creators and reacted to it yourself. And he would make this response video to what I said. And you can see the like-dislike ratio. It is easily the hardest dislike ratio you'll probably find on any video he has uploaded in his entire YouTube career because it was just awful.
Wow.
I felt no need to make a video response to this because he essentially cooked himself. Okay, he went after me, hypocritically slandering me over things, also failing to address pretty much any point I made, focusing only on throwing insults at me. Also, he made up some wild claims that my wife was digging for dirt, asking his friends for dirt on him, which is really crazy. On top of that, he also said he could have deplatformed me if he uploaded this on his main Nux Taku channel. Obviously, that didn't go over very well, and that's kind of the Nux side of this whole Loli controversy. And now we have the side with Mutahar here, and about...
Dude, how did these things get so deep? How does this happen? Like, do these people not have anything better to do with their lives? Like, what the hell?
2 years ago, Mutahar made several tweets about the topic, saying that if you watch that stuff, you need to be on a watch list, that it can harm real people, and that it's illegal content and all this stuff. And of course, his disgust on the topic is totally valid. That's something very understandable and that he's allowed to have, but that doesn't justify spreading...
Oh god, honestly, the Loli discussion, I don't want any part of it, because, I mean, that shit gets wild, okay? Because everyone has a slightly different definition of what a Loli is supposed to be and when it's bad. Personally, I think when a Loli is bad is when it's intentionally aimed to look like, you know, an underling, a young one and whatnot. And when they are also, you know, represented as, you know, acting like a child and whatnot. Okay? Some people legitimately call Rebecca from Cyberpunk 2077 a lolly, by the way, which is pretty wild. She's just small, and she's not even, childlike. She's young. Yeah, that's kind of the point, I guess. But I don't know. I don't see it that way. Seems like an adult, acts like an adult, not exactly looks like a child. Yeah, she definitely looks like a teen or whatever, but I don't know. And these conversations get wild when you actually get here. For everyone, there's a different definition. There's probably 3 people already typing out a paragraph of insanity because I said Rebecca is not a lolly. It gets wild, okay? These conversations really get wild. And there is no right answer. This is why people fall for it when they are someone that typically wants to be on the right side of history on literally everything. So there you kind of go.
Misinformation and fear mongering over the topic, and also being a hypocrite about it as well, as we'll see in this video. And on top of that, a lot of people point out the fact that he has openly admitted to regularly consuming cartel execution videos. So at the very least, regardless of your thoughts on the fictional content, you can say, I don't really know if I want to be virtue signaled about fictional content.
I mean, yeah, he regularly goes on the deep web. And, well, cartels, drugs, and PDF-related material. That's what the deep web is.
By a guy who watches people get tortured and brutally executed on camera, right? So that's kind of where we were at, and I held out a lot of copium. I made the mistake of having some copium on the situation because I've enjoyed Mutahar's content for many years, and I know he's had good takes on other things, so I thought maybe...
I have not. My favorite Mutahar arc was when we actually watched his videos and made fun of him for doing deep dives into law and subjects of that nature. He very quickly stopped it, but it was kind of funny when the guy does a deep dive into a law thing, and he has no idea what dismissed with prejudice even means, and he's like cracking jokes, dismissed with prejudice. Yeah, he had no idea what that means. I can't remember how he said it, but yeah, clueless. And that's like basic stuff, and you're doing deep dives in law? Like, come the fuck on.
Maybe one day he would have a more nuanced take on this whole subject, and maybe just even ignore it from now on. But then we had this video. And basically, to achieve what we're doing today, we're going to have to talk about some hentai, which seems fitting because if there was tags applied to this situation, it would be mind break, because this topic has mind broken
Nice.
Mutahar to the point where he's saying some pretty unhinged crazy stuff, including making a whole 40-minute video about this topic where he is, of course, disavowing Nux Taku over this subject. So, as I said, the video is now private, but there are re-uploads all over the place. And we're going to start with this clip right here where he's basically giving kind of the general intro to what we're going to talk about today.
But to go back to it, Nux Taku is a former collaborator, a former friend of mine, and I mean really a former friend of mine, because some of the stuff that I've seen over here is disgusting enough that I really can't continue a friendship, and I really can't, like...
You know how I know Mutahar is fucking fake? It was... I think the bigger eye-opener for a lot of people was when the Mama Max, yes, Mama Max, that was the correct name, thing happened. And, everything's fine. Then that person, Mama Max, gets exposed as a complete shitbag, and Mutahar's like, I never liked him to begin with. I knew that something bad was gonna happen. Like, instantaneously, something goes wrong, he just throws everyone and anyone under the bus, okay? This is not a person that can be trusted in the even slightest.
Like, again, excuse some of my behavior watching some of this content as well.
So he makes it very clear from the intro that he is largely disavowing Nux Taku thanks to the fictional content he has consumed and the fictional content he has shared with other content creators, including Mutahar himself. And this is supposed to be another angle of the video where Mutahar is taking accountability for his role in consuming some of this.
We have seen this before. It's not really taking accountability. He just effectively does this. And this is how I think people are kind of mad, because people obviously notice it. It's the fact that Mutahar does the same shit. he supports these people, but the moment that person is, you know, under the water a little bit, he's like, man, I did all of these things with that person, shared in the interests, did this stuff, but I now disavow them, even though I also slightly did these things. That's the real bad person. I have learned from my mistakes. Again, he's literally just pushing everyone under the train.
This content he believes is illegal. So this is where there's a bit of a longer clip. This goes on for about a minute, but I think it's really important to listen to because he sets up some wild standards that end up basically being self-sabotage.
And again, when I was working with Nux, a lot of the things we did talk about was being anti-Loli in that situation. And Nux very much made it clear to me that he was anti this stuff as well too, and he still maintains it to this day. But the kind of stuff that he showed us was...
Wait, I'm confused. So why does he need to denounce him if he's anti this stuff?
Anime knee summer. Now, inside the video, inside Nux's presentation, it kind of came off as like just a cursed little hentai, and the reality of it is I never really watched his collaboration, but if you take the name that knee summer has had and put it into my anime list, which I realistically should have done at the time, you can see the synopsis is Yuta Yamayuchi is a average high school student, right? So right there, I'm not going to play the whole semantics, oh, is this really...
Pretty much literally 50% plus of anime. Are we talking about hentai?
Loli game? Like, I don't even care if somebody is like 18 or on the cusp of like turning 19. At the end of the day, high school can very much involve a minor. And when you scroll down and go to the...
So that's really all we got to hear. And
that is kind of wild, though. Because this is an insane distinction to make, okay? Because this is like, oh yeah, it's high school. I don't care if they're actually of age. It's still high school, so it's bad. What's the point of fucking having laws if that's your opinion and you're gonna proclaim that it's right, okay? 18 but still in high school illegal? Sure. That's a wild way to look at things.
In terms of this point, but he makes several standards here, right? So he's talking about this video that Nux had him react to, and he thinks that it contains lolicon by his own definition, and that makes it bad, and he sets up the standard about high school students in high school settings and things like that.
True,
so,
actually.
Number one, I do believe that you should care about the definition of a term you're using to chastise others. Okay, he makes it clear.
Yep, especially if it's vague and arbitrary, aka you literally can change it on the spot.
Clear that he's kind of just making up his own definition of lolly as he goes, but still feels strong enough to use that self-created definition to cancel other people. That seems a bit irresponsible to me, and if you want a correct definition, I don't care what some Twitter spurg says and their misinformation surrounding the topic, because there is so much misinformation surrounding this topic. Lolly is a very simple definition. It is a petite body type in anime and manga. That's it. It comes along with cute aesthetics. It has nothing to do with age.
Oh. I had no idea. Wow. I actually had no idea what Loli actually stands for. Huh. Petite body type. Shit. That's the one I like.
Twitter has filled people's minds with a lot of misinformation on the topic. And if you want proof of that, here's like the easiest example, right?
It is Rebecca! I yesterday, on Twitter, I saw people debating this. Oh, 24 hours ago. Yup. Studio Trigger refused to redesign Rebecca and Cyberpunk Edge Runner. The lolly must stay. Oh, they call it a lolly. Well, shit.
She's in her 20s. She is unequivocally a lolly. No one can question that. That is literally what she is. Even Studio Trigger, one of the most legendary anime studios out there, categorizes her as that term. This is not a debate.
Wait, but does that mean they're categorizing her as just small and petite, or the bad kind of lolly that I imagine the term only stands for? Huh. Now I'm confused. I'm just getting confused now.
Unfortunately, like I said, Twitter has spread so much misinformation that this very simple term has been manipulated into something used to weaponize outrage about fictional content, to cancel people, and what have you. But anyways...
Yeah, I don't know. When I look at Rebecca, I don't see anything even remotely close to actually being, like, the lolly of the bad kind, okay? shit, now there's probably 10 comments. How dare you? Oh boy. This is why these discussions are so insane.
We also see Mutahar set up this definition about these high school students. Even when these characters are 18 or on the cusp of being 19, it doesn't matter. It's still falling under this lolicon definition of his because of the school uniforms and the school setting, which is not just pretty a reach, to say the least, but also it's incredible self-sabotage. I mean, one of the worst cases of self-sabotage I have seen in quite some time, because in this...
Yeah, this cannot be a genuine opinion. There's probably videos where Mutahar has looked at it, I don't know, something with a school uniform and probably thought that's hot or said something like that. The school uniform... This is just reaching. I don't know. Probably because Mutahar expects bad things to come his way, but that is just flat out reaching. There's no other way to describe it, okay? Anything school uniform related is a lolly material. Does that mean a teacher in school uniform is also that? Obviously no. Probably no one is going to disagree with that, right? Yeah.
Video that Nux showed, of course, there was those high school students, and his outrage over that would be fine if it wasn't for the fact that his self-described favorite
I know what this is.
hentai is Dropout. And if you can't see it from the
that's
image
what it's called.
from that...
Don't know what it's called, but I do know what this is. I recognize this.
Content, she is wearing a high school uniform, because the entire premise of this hentai is high school students in a high school setting. And I could scroll to the right because there's tags included.
I don't know about the high school setting thing when it comes to hentai, honestly. I think hentai, porn in general, that is made in a high school setting is literally just trying to capitalize to all the adults who missed out a chance to when they were 15, 16, 17, and 18 to bang like crazy. Because everyone wanted to do that when you were 15. What were you doing? If not masturbating, obviously. I was. My friends were. Everyone knew it. No, absolutely everyone did the same thing. And everyone was, well, a horny teenager, as everyone knows. So I think a lot of this is just capitalizing on the idea that, hey, people who missed out to bang a lot when they were younger could kind of at least have fantasies, I guess. Does that make it right? Depends on what you fantasize about. But again, see, this is why this topic is insane and it should probably not be touched with a 10-yard pole, because there's no fucking right answers.
Included in this image, and I would just have to censor my whole screen. Here's some of the tags, right? There's a high school girl uniform, high school boy uniform. There's R wording in this. There's chloroform. There's snuff. There's other tags.
Snuff? Was there? I kind of don't remember. I mean, it's been a while, but I don't remember that at all. Huh.
Like vomit and scat, like to the normie side of the internet,
Whoop.
which is probably the type of...
Yeah, I would definitely remember that. Yep, don't remember that. Hey, there's a new episode out that probably means, honestly. Or like 20, honestly.
People who are, in Mutahar's circle, that's a pretty hardcore set of content right there. Okay, and it contains...
not a lot more hardcore than, honestly, real-life torture.
The exact thing that he is canceling Nux for, by his own definition. And if you don't trust me, I mean, you can listen to him talking about this only a few years ago.
It was
2020.
Dropout. That was the name. Dropout. So basically the premise is it's like if you're not smart, like if you're not a smart chick, they turn you into like a like...
I'm not mistaken. I know what that is, but I don't remember any, R-ing or any of that stuff though. Huh. That's strange.
Like a public urinal where like you just get fucked.
you get the point, okay? He's describing the plot. It is something that, by his own definition, is something worthy of losing a friendship over, a business relationship over. So I think that level of hypocrisy and self-sabotage in that 1 minute section of the video was already enough to really scale back any sort of point he was trying to make. But let's move on to the next section. I stated earlier in the video that a lot of people point out the fact
There's gonna be a lot of this, isn't there? Holy.
that he consumes these cartel execution videos.
Yeah.
And right here he addresses that point directly.
Now, obviously, I want to address some other, like, power round criticism before we end this off. Lol, fuck Muda. Dude's been a hypocrite forever as well. Dude virtue signals over cartoons, but loves watching beheading videos. So I want to also address this statement as well. Now, on the
I don't think those are the same things. But again, even I mentioned it. There's a reason people are mentioning it, because both of these fall under, not a good category of characterization of people, but there is a difference between them.
podcast, I talked about a morbid curiosity that I have with, like, beheading videos, like cartel stuff on the
Having a morbid curiosity of something doesn't excuse you.
internet. And I feel like I have to explain this a little bit more. My morbid curiosity comes from the fact that for a long time, for years at this point, I've been looking into the Mexican drug war. And if you ever
Okay, so
Okay.
he'll go on to clarify that.
Yeah, that's not an excuse. That doesn't make it good, right, or anything.
A little bit more, but I think it's just an unbelievable level of copium where he's trying to say his morbid curiosity towards this subject is one from an investigation sort of view, right? He's trying to investigate this topic, which is
Nice.
odd because it's like you're not law enforcement. It doesn't give you the right to consume any illicit content you want. And on top of that,
True.
like, that sort of justification could be used for a lot of different illicit content people want to consume
True.
online. And again, at the end of the day, we're thinking too hard about this, right? I just don't think people want to be virtue signaled at about fictional content from a guy who can stomach and go through videos of real life people being brutalized in horrific ways. Okay, I think it's really not that complicated. But the next clip we're going to watch involves some of the blind spots he had towards Nux and possibly other people, but let's listen to what he had to say.
So again, I don't really watch a lot of content creators that I collaborate with, and nobody really does, okay? Like, at the end of the day, when it came to Nux's channel, here I'm signed on with my actual YouTube account, and if it's one thing that you'll see, usually under videos, there'll be like a red bar. I don't have a red bar under basically any of these.
I can do the same. You just need to log in to, for example, a different browser. Yeah, they don't save amongst each other. I'm pretty sure there are ways to get rid of the red bars. There are ways even to add the red bars. For example, when I add a video to my watch later list that I want to react to, sometimes the video is going to have a 50% red bar. Don't know why. It just does. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes videos that I have watched don't have a bar. That is kind of, a YouTube thing. I think there's, YouTube probably has inbuilt a thing if you haven't watched the channel for a while, the red bars disappear by default.
These videos. I think the only video I have an actual red bar in this is probably I showed YouTubers the most cultured clips, which I actually browsed through just for the sake of, again, this video.
Okay, so he says some things that are right generally, but they're not correct specifically.
Oh, hell, that's metamorphosis. Damn!
When we're referring to Nuxtaku. So yes, I agree with him when he says that a lot of content creators don't watch the content of people they associate with.
Okay, I'm getting tired of this. I don't like Mutahar. He's just a fucking pussy at the end of the day, okay? He has no real opinions, and the moment he does a bad opinion, he's gonna apologize. Spinelessness. That's the reason why I'm pretty sure he's good friends with Oompville. It's like Oompville. Something happens, he says that's bad, and 3 seconds later he's like, but that's actually maybe good. Who honestly knows? I'm just a clown on the internet. These spineless people who just want to grift having the most lukewarm opinion about every absolute subject, who are afraid to be wrong as the biggest fault of their lives and stick up to absolutely nothing they say. I don't know. I can't trust anyone who is like that, who literally is just gonna instantaneously betray all they believe because they're getting slight pushback because they did not have the right take or something. I have had a bunch of videos that people have said, I don't actually agree with you on this one. I don't believe it. Fine with that, it happens. In any case, that was Rev Says Desu. Oh shit, there's an apology. Oh, I did not see that. Let's actually check the apology.
What was the point of all of this? I'm not quite sure, but he would make a community post on YouTube.
Oh, it's a community
saying this
post.
Regarding the last video about Nux, while I can't be a friend after some of the things that have resurfaced, I do feel I did do an overreaction that stemmed from being emotional on the reaction from the community on Reddit. Again, paying attention to anything Reddit says is a huge mistake. But he continues on saying, I've been watching my content for the past few weeks and realized my channel has slipped into a slop channel. I've made more
always was, buckaroo.
Drama-related content over the last several months than I have fun engaging.
Wait. More drama content in the last... Was it? I remember watching one of his videos when he was like, I'm gonna do more meaningful content, not just slop because I'm a good guy. And what, now he obviously does the slop? Oh, bitch, please. You just want the money. And you're afraid to say it because then you don't sound virtuous and all of that. You just want the money from the easy slop content. Admit it. It's not a big deal. Money is good. For anyone who says money is bad, they're either completely a moron or the most poorest person ever, and you don't understand how they even got an internet.
And informative content. That includes producing videos that don't release daily. I need to take more time and...
Yeah, I remember he has literally stated this before. Also, I remember I laughed about him because, again, Mutahar's a moron. Okay, if it's not fixing printers, his opinions are complete null and void trash most of the time. Okay? Dude. I remember he previously justified taking bad sponsors because his thing was, well, I make videos about topics that people don't want to see that much, so I lose money. I need to take sponsorship deals. No one's forcing you to make these videos, buddy. That's not an excuse to take bad sponsorship deals. It's not. You choose to make less money by your own admission making a video that people will watch less. That takes more time and effort, okay? That's your choice. It doesn't justify you taking a bad sponsorship. I think that was about the... what was the sponsorship with the Sir title, or you know, the get a 1x1 centimeter square of Scottish land and be called a lord? Esteemed titles, established titles. One of those.
Release content a couple times a week that stands in quality and not quantity. I don't do this for a job, so honestly, going out of my way to constantly chase trends has done nothing beneficial for me other than...
This seems such fucking insane cope. Now he works as a programmer or something like. But dude, he needs his YouTube. He has like 4 million or 5 million subscribers, right? Or at least 3.5. I don't remember exactly at this point. But yeah, he's literally making hundreds of thousands a month, I'm pretty sure, from his videos. No. Okay, less. But you get the point. To actually make more money as a programmer or whatever the hell his job is kind of insane. I really honestly doubt that YouTube is not his primary source of income.
Than alienating my most hardcore fans.
Now, admittedly, I don't know what his job is, but again, it's really doubtable that you have you know, 4-ish million, let's just put it in the middle, subscribers, and you get he gets like at least 300 to 1 million views per video, right? It's really, 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 really doubtful that whatever his other job is his actual main bread maker. I really doubt it.
Take a few days off and reset and produce better content that isn't the latest trends or internet drama.
Like, he needs to be I don't know, a branch leader or something in a big company. He needs to be a department head in some kind of crazy big IT firm to actually make more there than on, you know, YouTube, probably. And so I don't know. That seems very sus. Depends on what he works at, but still.
While that produces a good view count, it's not the kind of content I want to be known for. I'll be back with content that I'm proud of.
Again, is this a copy paste of the previous time when he said, "Oh, my content's slop. I'm sorry. I'll do better"? Because it kind of feels like it.
In regards to past collaborations, all I can do is apologize and promise to do better. So that's kind of the end of the situation, and
So
probably
brave.
the best thing for him to do, which is touch grass. Take a break from this stuff. What happened with Nux and this whole topic has clearly...
Hell no. Anyway, I'm done. That was Rev says Desu 10 out of 10. Bye.